Hey, Miss, how are you today?
I'm 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 okay. How are you?
I'm. Are you sure you're okay? I wasn't sure based on that delivery just now. You're usually a little bit peppier.
So let me tell you about my past 2 weeks, shall I?
Ooh. Everybody go grab some tea while we discuss this. Miss Mims is about to drop some stuff on us. So go ahead, Miss Mims.
So, dear listeners, I would like to
Dear
apologize.
listeners.
I would like to apologize as, and you may hear thunder in the background. The thunder boomers are coming.
Thunder
So
boomers.
it's been completely clear and sunny here in gay old North Carolina. But right as of right now, a thunder boomer has decided to approach. It is not related to Henri, which is now having fun at P-Town. Anyway,
Oh, I'm sorry, Fire Island gays. I'm sorry that your orgies are getting ruined. I'm sorry.
so about, I guess it was 3 weeks ago now. Well, okay, so take a step back. I've had some issues with some air ducts in my house. Okay, apparently
Very
the
adult.
person. Yes, I know, very adult. So apparently the old lady that had air ducts in this house, or that owned this house before me, had a very nice repairman who she loved, who did not know what the fuck he was doing for anything. Excuse my language, dear listeners.
Dear
So
listeners, mostly my mom.
so downstairs in the air ducts, he used like the ducting you use for to connect dryers to the outside world, which is very thin and flimsy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was condensating and leaking through the ceiling. So we have had a hole in my ceiling, dear Liza, for about the past 6 months because Miss Mims, thinking she was, butch, cut a hole in the ceiling to see what was going on up there.
Bitch, you know you ain't butch. You better stop that.
Well,
You
then
know you ain't butch.
you say that I can repair machinery, like I can take shit apart, but I can't do no drywall or anything. That is not where. That is not my masculinity.
I don't think taking the batteries out of the vibrator counts as repairing machinery.
But I can put them back in. See, that's the. So anyway,
I'm dead. I'm dead.
so anyway, we had like some nice people come out and give us an estimate, and they're like, "Well, your entire ceiling has to come down because all the ductwork needs to be changed." I was
Oh,
like,
you didn't tell me all this.
"Oh yeah," and I was like, "Hey, boo, could you make sure it's flat ceiling? Because I'm tired of the popcorn anyway." They're like, "Yeah, we got you." I was like, "Okay." Of course, this old Southern man's like, "Yeah, we can definitely do that."
No, we got that. We do that all the time.
We do that all the time. So then they were like, well, when can we start? I was like, well, let me see. Can we start next Monday? I was like, oh, okay. I suppose we can. I suppose we can. So the next Monday rolls around, and then I get a phone call as I'm waiting for these assholes to show up. Hey, there's a little bit of confusion. They won't be able to start till Tuesday.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Now I should have known.
You should have known. Carolina time already. You're already playing with
I
fire.
should have known. And then I kid you not, Coolio and Snoop Dogg's love child comes up.
Oh, do you mean Snoolio?
Snoolio comes up with some dude who looks like Ice Cube. Like I just, it was a '90s rap phenomenon. It was fantastic.
Oh, that sounds nice.
And then they were like, I was like, y'all just come on in here and do this. I'm gonna leave. They're like, you're gonna leave. I'm like, what? I'm not racist. I trust y'all.
What y'all go steal? What you go steal? All my nerd stuff?
That's exactly right. And I'm insured, and you're insured, so anything happens, it's on your asses. Whatever. Mama needs a new TV anyway. Gone. So, so the original work time was supposed to be 5 days.
How'd that go?
2 weeks later, we finally have, and the poor cat was in the upstairs bedroom the entire time, and that's where my computer, that's where my recording studio is, my studio. So that poor cat had to be locked up, and all my plants were in the other room, so we couldn't really bring him to the other bedroom because then he'd eat all the plants, which is not to have anything poisonous, but
I mean, you'd like to keep your plants.
Exactly. So, oh my God. So it has been a struggle. And then Silky Nutmeg Ganache may be coming back to RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars.
I thought about that. I was like, oh no, this is not the way for this week to end for him. This is not it.
No, I will give, look, I was not a fan of Silky Nutmeg Ganache.
That's putting it lightly.
She was kind of talentless. Now, she has come back, and she has gotten, better.
Yes.
Her pads have not gotten better.
No.
But she has gotten better. Now, in this last lip sync, do I think she beat Eureka?
No.
No. Do I think she beat Jan? Probably not.
Aww.
Oh, look. This is my dear husband, Mr. Mims. He has... he has a theory that RuPaul secretly loves gaslighting Jan. Like, if you watch all of this, it is like the constant gaslight of Jan. Because she has excelled. She's looked good. And, like, she's like, I don't know what I did wrong. And sometimes she didn't even do anything wrong. It is. Sometimes she did. Don't get me wrong.
Well, so I think, you know what it is? Okay, so I'll say this from my perspective, right? Because Mr. Maim, my husband, he is not a fan of Jan. And,
I'm not either. Like,
yeah, no. When I say not a fan, I mean when Jan got eliminated, he was screeching like a banshee. He was so excited. That kind of level of not a fan. So one of the reasons is because he insists, that there is something about Jan that is completely disingenuous, like just completely. And the fact that even when the cast members were telling her that that's the thing, she was like, no, that's not it. No, that's it. That's literally what it is. You're a drag robot. That's what it is.
Yes, and that's completely true. Like, that is, but lip syncing.
Now, lip syncing, Jan is good at lip syncing.
Homegirl can throw it. I would love to see Jan as one of those little things, as long as she's not the host, right? Like, when they come through, as long as she's not hosting, I would be into it.
I would like to see Jan as a lip sync assassin on the show in the future season. I think she'd be good.
Yeah. How many more seasons of this shit do you think we have?
Whew, boy. Well, I heard rumor that they are talking about doing a All Stars All Winners season.
Good.
Which I think would be really cool. I really desperately want them to do a All Stars redemption season where all of the first people to go home battle it out for the number one. I mean, it's going to be like one person less since Magnolia Crawford quit drag after she got eliminated. But I think that would be the coolest thing, right? Like,
who is Magnolia Crawford?
Magnolia Crawford. She was in like season 9 or 8, I think it was. But she was like, you'll remember her. She was the one that had her nose snatched so strangely that it almost didn't look like it existed. Like, it was but basically, like, it was right when like social media started getting integrated into the show, and apparently like the humiliation of the show coupled with the humiliation off the show with social media, she quit drag. But I mean, I do think though that would be the coolest thing, like a redemption season where everybody that went home first. I mean, obviously Victoria Porkchop Parker would probably win the whole thing, but
I don't know if I've shared the story about Victoria. I probably have already, but I will share it again. I don't know if you were there, Maim, that night at Legends. It was a Tuesday, I believe. And Legends nightclub in Raleigh, North Carolina, everyone. And it was Tuesday drag night, which was a night of folly for everyone.
Not a folly.
Victoria, that was the night that we saw that one drag queen slide across the entire stage and doing Whitney Houston, following the line of cocaine.
Yes.
Well, a different night, not that night.
Oh, gosh.
Different night. Victoria Porkchop Parker was so drunk and hosted the show, she just fell right off the stage, just kablam.
Good times. Good times.
It was. I do have some sad news for you though before we get started with this episode.
Oh no.
The building, there are plans in the works for the building where Flex is based to replace Flex. It's going to be like a 20-story thing. On that. Yes. Now, nothing. Flex has not shared anything because it's just the plans have been filed with the city. Nothing has moved forward yet. I don't even know if the people that own the lawn care businesses in that block have sold. They would have to sell for this whole thing to happen.
Right.
So, but it could be your ass flying up for one last Flex reunion.
Oh my gosh. That is a lot. That's a lot to process just now. That's a lot.
Isn't it though? Isn't it?
Wow. We will have a extravaganza.
An extravaganza. Oh, and are you going to approach our friend who's opening up the place in Hickory, or am I, about us doing a little thing out there?
Wait, we have a friend. Wait, what's happening? Who? What?
You have liked his posts on Facebook. Who's opening the music venue?
Oh, I was thinking gay stuff. When you said that, I was like, gay stuff?
But it is a walking distance cabaret.
Oh, honey, I already looked up that. You already know. So we might have to take the Mims the Maim show on the road, honey. covering Western North Carolina, Myrtle Beach. And...
No, girl, we ain't good enough for Myrtle Beach.
Oh, everybody's good enough for Myrtle Beach, honey. You just got to go to North Myrtle Beach. You can't do South Myrtle Beach. It's got to be North. Come on now. All we got to do is put on some copper tone wigs and do a little number to shaggin', and they'll love it.
And on that note, let's get into this episode. Episode 20, Seams from a Marriage.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie. Just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia. The lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out. And that is the night the lights went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
Oh my gosh, I forgot how much I love this episode, by the way. I forgot. Because I was like, even as it was going on, I forgot about the episode until we saw the couple at the end. I was like, oh wait, I remember how this episode ends, and it's one of the best endings ever. So, yes, I'm very excited to be talking about this one. This is one of my favorites of this season.
So, at Sugarbakers, there's a little bit of transphobia to start.
Well, actually, you know what's so funny? Okay, so... All right, so this brought up a couple of questions for me. All right, so dear listeners, the show starts off with Charlene getting excited because the Al Pacino classic, well, this I guess it was a current movie at the time, Al Pacino classic Dog Day Afternoon was going to be playing at the theater. For those that don't know about Dog Day Afternoon, Al Pacino went through this kind of unusual phase in his career where he was doing a lot of LGBT adjacent types of movie roles. Yeah. So there was this one, there was Cruising. It was a really unusual time. So Dog Day Afternoon is basically about a gentleman that Charlene covers that is trying to rob a bank to pay for his boyfriend's sex change operation. and it's not a comedy, but they have a great little thing here where Suzanne, being the lovely, lovely person she is, she says, "I never understand. Why is it that you always see men wanting to be women, but not women wanting to be men?"
And then Julia says, "Well, I suppose because it's too hard to find a donor."
Right. Which is like, but you know what though? So I looked at it two things, right? So I didn't think it was that transphobic. I mean, it was funny because we look at it now with our eyesight, but technically it was actually a very tame joke.
It was.
It could have gone a long way. But secondly, I thought, how amazing is this? Because technology didn't exist back then that made the journey from female to male as easy as it is now.
That is true. That is true.
You know? So I did think that was a really kind of an interesting thing there.
As an aside, I would like to throw in another plug for The Nanny, which is on HBO Max right now.
You're going to do this every week.
It is still one of the most gay positive shows out there for the time. Like, Fran Drescher is just wearing rainbow suits, making little quips about gays, but always supportive. Now, there's some racial jokes.
Oh, yes, honey.
There's some 90s racial jokes.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah.
So then Suzanne has started to become an artist.
Yes,
now,
because Vlasco really thinks she can paint.
Yes.
Vlasco. Who is this Vlasco? Who is
I don't know. He probably has a studio on Peachtree Lane in downtown Atlanta. I'm sure.
No. He's the pool boy at the Tates.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense.
He's apparently a Spanish prostitute.
Yep. This is like, after the end of this episode, I don't know about you, but I was like, can we please just have a TV show about the Tates? Like,
love that. Yes. And I was wanting to see Vlasco.
I'm sure you were.
I mean, were you not?
Not really. No.
Why?
Because something about 1987 Spanish male sex worker, I'm just kind of like, I'm good.
The man has a point.
I'm good. I just imagine very, very greasy hair. Very greasy hair.
And it's actually probably just an Italian playing a Spanish man.
Oh yeah, because they can't hire actual Spanish actors at that time.
No. So Anthony's the only one of the Sugarbaker clan acting normal, like the only one.
You know, before when Julia says this though, Julia says something, and I don't remember if you caught it, but you know, we've had our running joke about Anthony for the longest time for the show. And I like Julia's actual turn of phrasing because it was almost prophet-like when she says, "You don't see Anthony acting all gaga," and I was like, oh. I was like, oh my God, Julia Sugarbaker, she knew it. She's a psychic. She knew what was coming.
We'll get to psychics in a minute. Girl, what color's your hair right now? It looks pink in the camera.
No, it's red now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
Thank you. Trying to go some more warm tones for the fall season.
Is that right? Is that when that Lambda variant hits Florida, you gotta be ready? Is that what?
Can we stop this? Let's not talk about variants.
Speaking of red, I just saw a map of Florida in regards to COVID. The whole panhandle is just black.
That's the only time the whole panhandle's black.
Ain't that the goddamn truth? Excuse me, dear listeners. Shelby gave Anthony a hat.
Oh, wow. So Anthony's going through his Joanne phase.
You've been waiting for that, haven't you? Since the
I
Gaga,
I didn't. I just put it together just now. Honestly, I was like, "Oh wait, that's another Gaga joke."
So the Mr. Shelby asked Anthony if he liked watermelon. And
boy.
Anthony was very uncomfortable by this question because Mr. Shelby, as I have it written here, has 4 lawn jockeys on his porch.
Dear listeners.
Dear listeners, we are not going to explain what a lawn jockey is. Just Google it.
Google it. If y'all don't know at this point, then
Don't
Lord
Google
help
it
you.
at work because it's offensive. So then he responded, "No, sir, but I do need some new tap shoes." And then he just put his hat right on top of his head.
Which I thought was cute / what?
Julia, I believe the phrase is nonplussed.
Oh, and then Maryjo comes in with her little walk of shame.
Wearing the same clothes she wore last night.
Oh, what has she been up to?
She went to a party.
No. Who's had a party last night? It's a weeknight.
Well, you see, the Tates needed Maryjo to... They wanted this color green that you could only find at this restaurant or something on this lake.
Okay.
So they went to the lake, found this lifesaver that had this Tater's green on it. And then they invited a country western band and flew in a Cajun boil. And like she partied all night. And then Suzanne says, "I think it's a pile of bunk that people don't think rich people aren't happy. It's a lie poor people made up, because rich people sure seem happy."
So I tried my best, because you know how I get with this stuff. I really tried to understand the logistics of what happened the night before, because I'm like imagining. So like I'm trying to think of it like based on time frames, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so Maryjo and the Tates helicopter into this houseboat to see this life preserver, and then at that point, that's when the Tates decide that they're going to call in the country western band. Is the country western band local? Are they coming from outside of the Atlanta area? The Cajun boil people.
So you forgot one little stop there. They also made a call to 40 of their friends. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, I forgot about their friends as well.
So it's probably they landed, and you know, my neighbors back growing up were real rich, right?
Real rich.
The people stage left of my house
Real
were
rich.
so real rich.
Real rich.
And the way they would have probably done it was they arrived at the houseboat. Somebody saw them on the houseboat, was like, "Hey y'all, how you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, we're doing fine. Do y'all want to get together for dinner?" "Well, yeah. You know that blah blah's in town." "Well, yeah." And so it just multiplied, and all of a sudden they were flying in the country west singer and flying in the Cajun boil, probably from Nashville.
So I guess they must have taken private jets. They had to. Like, it has to be, because there's no way that you could have just made arrangements on commercials to get
It
there.
depends on where this lake is. If this lake is like in northern Georgia, if they take the helicopter from northern Georgia, they can take the helicopter down from Nashville.
That's true.
I mean, I wouldn't want to fly a helicopter over the Appalachian Mountains, but you know, that's just me.
But who brought the crawfish and and like all that stuff? Who brought it?
They probably flew it in.
Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord.
Cooking it on the plane as they were getting there. Who the hell knows?
I'm sorry. I just, I get that. That's
mean,
my problem. That's my problem.
Let's just add this in here. Maybe it was their indentured servitude.
Ooh. Oh, I do think that one of my favorite lines from this exchange here was when Maryjo said that somebody at the party offered her $5,000 to redecorate their daughter's dollhouse, which led into the weirdest segue from Charlene about a flea circus that she went to.
Yes, and then they like, Julia's like, "Don't get hung up on the money." So Charlene starts rattling off these things that they're going to do for him. And all of a sudden, Sissy Tate is going to set them up with Pia Zadora's psychic. The one who told her to get out of movies.
dear listeners, in case
Golden
you've
Globe
been,
winner, Pia Zadora.
dear listeners, in case you've been trying to keep track of the Mims and Maims Easter eggs, Pia Zadora is a Mims and Maim Easter egg. Pia Zadora is a Mims and Maim Easter egg. There will be a quiz at the end of the season.
Yeah, you got Pia Zadora, not much V8, probably.
Oh my gosh. Which they said, I know it's ridiculous, but there should be a name that elicits like that sense of glee, but literally like it's like sixth grade Maim and Mims. I was like, this is our woman.
Yeah, like, and I don't know why she's our woman. She's not that.
I think it's because
we love a hack.
We love a hack, right? There's Pia Zadora. There's that Phoebe lady that's always shows up on all the award shows for some reason. We just love those women. Just love them absolutely.
Like, what is Pia Zadora is known for? Didn't she get arrested not too long ago?
I don't know.
In the early 2000s, like assault on her ex-husband or something.
I love it. You say not that long ago, the early 2000s.
Look, we're talking 1987 here, so in retrospect,
we're old, bitch. We're old. Oh God. Okay. So anyway. Also, Maryjo has that bracelet.
Yes, Sissy gave Maryjo a diamond bracelet. In which Suzanne immediately appraises it.
Maybe one of my favorite moments ever on that show. She's like, I always keep a jeweler's loop with me. You never know when someone's going to throw jewelry at you. And I was like...
Oh, I wish that was my life, right?
Right? I mean, right? Like, literally.
Like, and then she's, that's real. That's hot.
Yep. So then Julia's had enough. She's officially had enough, right?
And Maryjo's like, if you think you can do better, Julia Sugarbake, you go over there and do better.
Yep. And so Julia says, fine, I will. And she storms out.
And she takes the bracelet and the matching earrings with her.
Julia. So she gets back and she's feeling super confident. She's just like,
no to everything.
No to everything.
Even the horse, even dinner, even like, a trip to New Orleans. No. Horse is delivered.
Yep. Oh, wait, there's a horse at the door.
There's a horse at the door. Yeah.
Guest appearance by the famous Mr. Ed. This is his last appearance before he was put down. So rest in peace, Mr. Ed.
Girl, don't get peed on her ass.
I was just assuming. That's all. Let me have my fantasy, okay? Let me have.
How old would Mr. Ed be? Like, that was a 1940s. That horse would have been 40 plus years old.
No, I think Mr. Ed was in the 60s. I think it was the 60s, so it would be like 20 something.
When was Mr. Ed on the air? Here we go. I've got. Oh, damn it! Google's listening to all this. Hey Google. When was Mr. Ed on the air? You're right. It was 1961 to 1966.
I don't know why you're going to challenge me on
that
classic television.
Shit lasted 6 seasons.
Why would you ever challenge me on classic television? You know that's what raised me.
It raised me too.
But I had a more tenuous relationship with it. Yours was more like it's just there in the background. I was actually like wrapped up in it. Like I was like, I thought it was real. Remember, I thought
that's true. That's you still to this day want to be Donna Reed and all those uppers.
I did marry a doctor.
Is he able to prescribe medicine?
No, he's not that kind of doctor.
Okay, not that kind of doctor. Okay. Dr. Maim, not that kind of doctor.
Not that kind of doctor.
Where are we at on this? Sissy called.
Oh, what Sissy want?
Well, she just wanted to let Charlene know that Julia went to Miami with Shelby to eat some stone crabs.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, Julia walks in as soon as she's off the phone because this is television timing.
I love how that stuff happens on here all the time. This show is one of the worst shows as far as like they do it constantly.
Yeah, we only got 25 minutes to get through this. We got to get it going.
It's like every other scene is just setting up for the next scene.
Scene? What are you talking? Sentence. Every sentence is setting up for the next action.
True. I have to say though, Julia coming in that trench coat with them little
looking down.
Yes, I was like,
those
Julia,
those heels.
little kid heels, Hitty, little kid heel.
And she's like, where have you been? Where have you been? And Julia's like, nowhere. I just took a long walk this morning in those heels.
In those heels. Well, they are kitten heels, so I mean, she could do that.
I guess yes. And then, like, Maryjo's like, we already know where you went. We know where you were at. And Suzanne's like, I believe you owe us an explanation. And Julia's like, it was all strictly business. We had to do this, had to do this, had to do this. No, the bib you're wearing, because she was wearing a crab bib still from the night before.
I felt triggered personally, just because I live down here. I felt triggered. I've seen those flying around in parking lots before.
Julia ate more crabs than 3 Allstate insurance salesmen.
Do you think Allstate paid for that line?
No, maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, it's very interesting that she would use specifically Allstate and just didn't say insurance agents.
I mean, they could have done a walkthrough and were like Nationwide. No, that's not as funny. That's not funny. This,
that's true.
But
true.
Or Allstate just threw them a couple $100 to come on the next season.
Oh, somebody else is at the door. Somebody's at the door.
Who's at the door? Who's at the door? Oh no! It's Malcolm Box.
Who's Malcolm Box? Why is he coming in here like he knows us?
He's Mrs. Tate's PI.
Oh no!
Oh yes. He follows Shelby's friends all over the world.
Oh no!
And he's got a picture of Julia in a scandaloso.
Not escandaloso.
She fell on her way into the plane, and he helped her up.
Muy caliente. Oh. I'm gonna use like my 7 Spanish words that I picked up since I've lived in South Florida.
Oh, speaking of South Florida, I would like I sent Maim a text about this. And dear South Floridians, if one of you knows Gloria Estefan, please convince her to run against DeSantis as governor. Somebody please do this.
I'm like 2 degrees from her at this point. I have so many friends that are in like the local entertainment world that have like dealt with her daughter and dealt with like that I don't know. I just don't know. I don't think she'll ever do that. I don't think it.
No, but she could win.
No, I know that.
She could win.
I don't think she'll
it's
ever
just
do
like
it.
It's just like Barbara could be like Queen of New York if she wanted to be.
Oh man, could you imagine that if New York decided to just become a monarchy under Barbara Streisand? I would move immediately. I would literally move immediately. The national anthem would be either People or Enough is Enough. I would go there in a minute. Oh my god.
Oh Lord, at least it's not that damn song from A Star Is Born. What is it? It's not. It's Green something. Not Green.
Evergreen.
Evergreen. Oh, I hate that. It's like her worst song. Oh God. But you know.
Oh man.
You know how much I love. Oh my God. Why couldn't it be Jingle Bells? Jingle bell, jing jangle. Jingle bell, jing jangle. Jingle bell, jing jangle. Jingle bell, jing jangle. Jingle bells. Okay.
I think that's the Pledge of Allegiance. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the pledge. That's the Pledge of Allegiance.
I don't know if you noticed in the background, But Suzanne's paintings
Yes.
have like multiplied.
Yes.
They are these like marker, like
so
model
terrible.
paintings. They're so bad. They're so bad. They're hilariously bad.
Oh, and Sissy's bought 18 of them. Ah.
So Julia tells Malcolm to get the hell out.
Which, I mean, she should.
She should. And then they all start arguing about the gifts. Like,
This was the first fight that they've actually had on the show.
yes. Like, why are you? I can't believe this. 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 I can't believe. I mean, the one thing they're all missing is this is kind of all illegal because I know they're not claiming any of this money on their taxes.
Well, that's why Suzanne asked Julia if she got a receipt.
You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
And remember, Maryjo actually gave Charlene the receipts too. That's why the bracelet fell out of her pocket.
Uh-huh.
Remember who I work with now. I notice all of these things.
So an old woman kind of enters. Joan Q. Public.
Joan Q. Public, played by character actress, I don't know.
And like they're all yelling at her, ignoring her. And then they finally take a breath and decide, hey, do you want to be the Tate's business or the sugar bakers we meant to be? And all of them choose B.
Yep.
I would have chosen the Tates.
I would have chosen the Tates too, but that's just me. Thank
Yeah.
you, Joan Q. Public, for shedding light on this very endemic problem.
And what did Joan Q. Public want from the sugar bakers?
I just wanted to know where's the bathroom.
Bitch, you gotta pay for something first.
Thank you, right? Come on now. We don't just give the bathroom to public people like that. Come on, who are we? We're not like
Well-
Dunkin' Donuts.
She was white.
Oh, never mind. They do actually let white people just do that. That's
Yeah,
true.
we do. It is a gift. Let me tell
White people
you.
you guys can pee anywhere you want. You don't have to pay for anything. It's amazing.
It's our God-given right. It's why we don't pay taxes.
That's what the Civil War was about.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
They were like, black people can use public bathrooms too. And they're like, no.
And this has been another episode of Baking Sugar. I'm the Divine Miss Mims.
I'm your other host, Auntie Maim. Your favorite relation. Oh my god.
Anyway,
What is happening to us today?
well, we haven't talked in a while.
That's true, actually. That's what
Oh
it
my
is.
God. Anyway, where the hell are we at?
We're
So
gonna
we're
go
at
to
the Tates.
we're going to the Tates' house now.
We're going to the Tates' house. We're going to meet Sissy and Shelby. Do you remember our high school English teacher who had the real preppy rich neighbors? Senior year high school teacher.
What was
And
her
she
name?
always talked about them and called them Muffy and Buffy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's what I envisioned.
Oh. There's something about rich Southerners. It's just not like anywhere else. It's just really not.
Just aside, and I will, dear listeners, this part will be removed. So they say, Julia, it's like, no more.
puts
We
her foot
can't
down.
deal with this anymore.
Yeah, she puts her foot
And they're
down.
like, the Tates are like, well, we don't like this one bit.
No, they're breaking Sis's heart.
Breaking Sissy's heart. Breaking Sissy's heart. And the Tates then promise to be more businesslike.
Yeah, they are going to be more businesslike. I do like, however, when Sissy makes sure that everybody knows that Suzanne's chest is so amazing that she cannot believe it's not silicone.
Oh, God, and that they'll have to return the Mustang they bought for Charlene.
Yeah, it's navy with a tan cloth top.
Camel. It
It was camel. Bitch,
Camel top.
I come from poor people. I don't know. That's all tan to me. It's all the same color to me.
So, the Tates promise to be completely businesslike.
Yep, I
And
like it.
Sissy wants to start in the room they're in, which is his room. It's the gun room. and she's got this vase, this ugly vase that's got every color in the rainbow on it.
Yeah.
And she wants to use the colors of this vase to paint the entire room.
And what's so funny about that from a gay perspective is that even if you thought about it, that would not have looked good at all. Like that room is not made for that.
So
But
he shoots the vase.
He does. Because that's what rich Southerners do, because they know they can get away with it.
And then she shoots down one of his trophies.
That's right, because that's also how the rich Southerners do that. Because you're like, I have a problem with this. Okay, I'll shoot it.
And the Sugarbaker family runs the hell out the door.
Literally runs. Literally.
Yes, as fast as they can go.
But they don't make it out completely. They get stopped at the final gate.
They do. They do. And we find this out at the next, when they're back at Sugarbaker's.
Trying to get in the house.
Trying to get in the house. They're like, the lights are dark. They're like, we did best we could, blah, 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 blah. I'm glad we're together. And then they come in and they're all wearing brand new furs. And they're still going to work with the Tates, right?
They are still going to work with it. And they call themselves trash, which I loved it. So
Yep. Even Anthony with that hat on and that fur. Oh.
Yes, y'all. Anthony also got a fur as well.
Of course he did. They love Anthony.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
This is just this episode is just pure silliness. I love it so much.
Well, hold on. I was going to ask you, do you like this episode?
I do actually like this episode.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
No, it is. It's one of my favorites. I forgot how much I love this episode, but I also forgot how much I like this show when it literally is just pure silliness. Like, that's my favorite when the show is at its best.
I completely concur. This is a good episode. This is a funny, silly, crazy episode. Those paintings of paintings, Crayola marker drawings of Suzanne's just get me when they are all over the place.
I think that children actually did those, and the reason why is if you go back and watch near the end, they show this. There's this one painting that's on the floor, and it is clearly Disney princesses. Like, clearly you can tell, because me and Sleeping Beauty, we have that thing. Like, one of them is dressed exactly like Sleeping Beauty was in the 1950s movie. I was like, I think actual children did these.
So, did you find yourself a Miss Georgia World?
So I did. I did find myself a nice Miss Georgia World. My Miss Georgia World this week is Julia Sugarbaker with that reveal coat of the trench coat with her bib underneath. That is my Miss Georgia World, because I love somebody that makes sure that her clothes stay neat even when she is going to town on some crab.
I would like to say I found not one, not two,
what?
But 5 Miss Georgia Worlds.
The fur coats.
The fur coats! When they walk in and are just pimping, it is fantastic.
I always forget how much I love a woman in a fur coat. I
know,
love it.
I know. Well, dear listeners, I would like to mention something that more will be revealed as we get closer to time. But Maim and I are working on something else for fall sweeps. It is going to be the first week of October, which I know is a little later than fall sweeps, but the first week of October, we will have something new for you.
Yes.
We'll mention more about it in episodes to come, but we just want to let you know that there's a little something out there for you. Just a little, a little nosh, a light nosh. A bagel with some schmear.
That's a bagel.
Maybe some lox if you're feeling it. If not, I understand. They're not for everyone.
Mostly lobster, though. Technically, if we're going to be going it off this train of thought, technically lobster.
It's a lot. It's a it's a lot of ham. Actually, it's a lot of ham.
Oh man. Yeah. Honey baked too. Oof.
Honey, just sweetest honey. Well, Maim, tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay. You can find me. You can find me on Instagram at auntie.maim. That's MAIM, because I will hurt somebody. You will find me.
She really won't.
I will with my words. Not physically though. I will with my death stare.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, you got that one. Yeah. You can say a lot, but you can't say anything about that one. Also, you can find me on Facebook at I'm Your Auntie Maim. One word. Also, if you are down here in South Florida and you literally want to come say hello to me, every Thursday night I host Amazing Colossal Karaoke at Killer Idol on South Beach from 10 to 2. So just come and hang out and, just be like, hey, I heard your podcast. And I'll be like, okay, I'll keep hosting. Thank you. So
I think you're going to anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So just go ahead and do that.
We got a couple of years left on this.
We had a little bit.
Gotta make it
through. We can do it.
Gotta get through this. Gotta get through this.
No betting field references, please. Gosh, I'm gonna end up singing Unwritten for the rest of the day. Dang it.
Okay.
What about you, Miss Mims?
I am the Divine Miss Mims. You can find me on Twitter at Divine Miss Mims. That's pretty much the only social medias I use.
It's true.
You can find Mims and Maim on Twitter, Instagram, what's the other? YouTube. All of these are on YouTube.
Pornhub.
No.
OnlyFans.
I mean, maybe soon.
Just gotta get through this.
What is that? Facebook is the other one. You can find us all there at Mims and Maim. Baking Sugar has their own Twitter called Baking Sugar Pod, which I found if you are starting to generate your own podcast, if you start liking other podcasts, they will like you back, and you will find a plethora of different people out there. Yeah. Let's see here. What else? Oh, we have a Patreon that I held a special on. Y'all could have gotten that for one donation of $3 a month. You could have gotten a handwritten note from one of us. And I would just like to thank you, dear listeners, for not putting me through the paces of having to write a handwritten note to any of you.
I would have just written it on my iPad and just done it that way.
And sent to the whole iPad?
Well, yeah, it's still no, just so I would have sent the picture of the handwritten note. It's still handwritten. It didn't say it had to be on paper. It just said handwritten.
Oh, it's via mail. It said through the mail. So they would get mail. Like they're in 1987.
Oh, like old school mail.
Old school. Yeah, what? The mail. What? You don't call email mail. You call it email.
Actually, no. We call that mail snail mail. Remember, that's snail mail.
Girl, you are 41 years old. It is still just the mail. I know. Whenever you get home, you're like, oh, I want to go check the mail. I need to see if my circulars are in there. I need to see my penny savers in there. I need to see what magazine my Vogue is here. I know you. I remember the excitement in your eyes when Details magazine would come and show up in your mailbox.
I love that magazine so much. It taught me everything I needed to know to be a man. I loved it.
And that is why you are gay to this day.
It's because of you, Details. It's because of you. I learned it from you.
Oh God! How many Donna Karen of New York black jackets are there in this world?
Not enough.
DKNY, baby, DKNY. All right, girl. I think we're done here. I think. All right. Bye, girl.
Bye, honey. Bye.
Bye.